Hello and welcome. Let's dive right in and talk about one of the most common appliances in our homes, but one that's also, surprisingly complicated, the washing machine. We are going to cut through all the marketing noise and the confusing online debates to give you a really clear guide, from the moment you start shopping to the moment you do your first load of laundry.
Does this feel familiar at all? You're in a store, or maybe you're just scrolling endlessly online, and you're surrounded by dozens of models that all claim to be the absolute best. All the specs start to blur together, the reviews are a total mess, and you're just sitting there thinking, I just want something that works.
And hey, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. This comment from a Reddit user just captures that feeling perfectly, right? The frustration of having something break and the pressure of trying to get it right the second time around. It's a stressful place to be, and a lot of us have been there.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with that buyer's dilemma. Then we'll get into the super important first steps for setting up for success. After that, we'll master the wash cycle itself, peek into the chemistry of what makes things clean, and finally talk about how to make your machine last for life.
Okay, first up, the buyer's dilemma. This is where all the confusion really begins. You're just trying to sift through this mountain of conflicting opinions online, looking for a simple, straight answer.
And I mean, just look at this. It is the perfect snapshot of the chaos. For every single person who says a brand's quality is terrible now, you'll find someone else who swears it's the best it's ever been. For every horror story, there's a story from someone whose machine has been chugging along for 30 years. It really makes you wonder, who are you supposed to believe?
You know, a huge point of confusion online is this whole "where is it made" debate. And this slide really clears things up. Made in America suggests that pretty much everything, the parts, the labor, it's all from the USA. But assembled in America? That often means the parts came from all over the world, and just the final assembly happened stateside. The big takeaway here is that these labels mean very different things, and it's a huge reason why online reviews can be so contradictory. People might be talking about products with totally different guts, even if they have the same brand name on the front.
All right, let's move past all the opinions and get into some hard facts. Section 2, set up for success. Because honestly, it doesn't matter what machine you buy. If you don't get these first few steps right, you are just setting yourself up for problems down the road.
So here we've got a basic diagram of the machine. Looks pretty standard, right? You've got your drawer, the door, control panel. But if you look at the back, you'll see something called transit bolts. And trust me, these little things are absolutely vital. Now let's focus in on these bolts because this is so important. Before you even think about running your first wash, these have got to be removed. They are only there to keep the drum from bouncing around during shipping. If you leave them in, your brand new machine will shake like crazy and could seriously damage itself. It is, without a doubt, the single biggest mistake new owners make.
Thankfully, taking them out is super simple. You just loosen the 4 bolts, pull them out, and then you pop in these little plastic covers that come with it. But here's a pro tip. Don't throw the bolts away. Keep them somewhere safe. If you ever have to move, you'll want to put them back in to protect the machine. And here are just a few more critical don'ts that come straight out of the manual. Try to avoid really humid rooms like a bathroom. Never ever use an extension cord, and make sure it's on a solid, level surface. Every one of these tips is designed to prevent some kind of headache, whether it's an electrical issue, water damage, or just that horrible rattling sound you get from an unbalanced machine.
Okay, the machine is all set up. Now for the fun part, Section 3, mastering the wash cycle. That control panel might look a little intimidating with all its dials and buttons, but we're about to make sense of it all.
This table gives us a fantastic bird's eye view. And you'll notice right away that different cycles have very different weight limits. A cotton cycle can handle a heavy 10-kilo load, but a quick wash is for much smaller loads. So why is that? Well, the cotton cycle is long and uses a ton of water. A quick wash uses less water and a shorter spin time, so the clothes need way more room to move around to get clean. Overloading is one of the easiest ways to get a bad wash.
So what about some of those advanced features like a steam cycle? How does that actually work? Well, it's pretty cool. The machine has an internal heater that turns a little bit of water into steam, and that steam can penetrate fabrics way more deeply than just hot water, which helps loosen up really tough stains and allergens. Sure, it might make the cycle take longer, but the result is a clean you can really feel.
But, and this is a really big but, steam is hot. You absolutely do not want to use it on your delicate, temperature-sensitive fabrics. Think wool, silk, things like that. The heat could cause them to shrink or get damaged. So the key here is to use steam for your durable items like cotton sheets and towels and keep it far away from your delicates.
So we've mastered the machine. But what about the stuff we're actually putting inside it? Welcome to Section 4, the chemistry of clean.
We're going to take a look at what's really in that bottle of laundry detergent.
On the left, we've got a familiar brand logo you see every day, and on the right, a universal symbol for warning. It's kind of funny, we don't often think about it, but the detergent we use is a pretty complex chemical product, and it needs to be handled with a little bit of respect.
And this is exactly why. This is a hazard statement taken directly from the product's official safety data sheet. It's just a stark reminder that these are powerful cleaning agents, and we shouldn't take them lightly.
So, what's actually inside? Well, the real workhorses are called surfactants. The easiest way to think about them is like tiny little molecules with two ends. One end loves water, and the other end loves oil and grease. So they go in, grab onto all the grime on your clothes, and then when the water rinses everything away, they carry the dirt out with them. Then you've got solvents to help dissolve tough stains, and even tiny amounts of stuff like sodium hydroxide to adjust the water's pH, which just makes the whole cleaning process work better. It's a really carefully balanced chemical cocktail, all designed for one thing: getting your clothes clean.
All right, on to our final section, a machine for life. Now that you've bought it, installed it, and you've mastered it, let's talk about how to keep it running happily for years and years to come.
Okay, if you only remember one thing from this section, just remember the number 2. That's it. Just twice a year, take a few minutes to clean out the pump filter and the little water inlet filter. Over time, stuff like lint and hair can build up in there, and this one simple step prevents the most common reasons why a machine might stop draining or fill up too slowly.
We have all been there. Suddenly, out of nowhere, your machine starts making a new and usually alarming sound. Your first instinct is probably to panic and think, okay, I gotta call a repair person. But just wait a second.
Because here's the most likely solution. Before you do anything else, just check the drum. A lot of the time, the cause of that scary sound is simply something left in a pocket. Coins, keys, or even just a zipper hitting the side of the drum as it spins. Following this simple check can save you a whole lot of time, money, and worry.
So we'll end with this question. After everything we've gone through today, from steam cycles to chemistry, is the fanciest, most powerful cycle always the best choice? You see, real mastery of the machine comes from knowing which cycle is right for the job, which one is going to protect your clothes, save energy, and make your machine last. It's not about using the most advanced cycle every time. It's about making the smartest choice.